Claude AI, which is a family of artificial intelligence models created by Anthropic. Claude is similar in purpose to ChatGPT, but it is developed by a different company. Claude AI can help you write, code, analyze information, and automate tasks. In this video, we'll learn how to use Claude AI effectively, explore some important commands, learn how to manage context and token usage, and much more. The official Claude website is Claude.ai. You can create an account there, and from the settings, go to the billing section to upgrade your plan. You can also use Claude for free or switch to a paid plan such as Pro or Max depending on your needs. You can also use Claude in VS Code for chat and coding, and you can use Claude Code through the terminal. Now let's learn some important commands that can be very useful. First is init. These commands create a Claude.md file for your project or help set up the file if one already exists. This file contains project-specific instructions and guidelines that Claude should follow when working on your codebase. Make sure your Claude.md file is not unnecessarily large or filled with useless instructions. If Claude needs to process a lot of unnecessary context, it can increase context and token usage. So, keep this file clear, specific, and focus on instructions that are actually useful. Keep that in mind. Next is model. If you want to switch between available Claude models, you can use this command. It allows you to select from the models available to your account such as Sonet, Hayaku, or Opus, depending on your plan and availability. Another important command is usage or cost. Both can help you understand your Claude Code usage, but they provide different information. Cost shows token usage and estimated cost information for the current Claude Code session. Usage shows information about your current plan's usage limits and consumption, including the relevant usage windows. You can also check your Claude account or subscription usage information from the appropriate Claude dashboard. Next, let's talk about compact, clear, and exit. If you are working on a project for a long time in a single session, your conversation context can become large. You can use compact to summarize and compact the conversation while preserving important information. You can also provide instruction about what information should be preserved during compaction. The clear command clears the current conversation context, allowing you to start fresh, and exit closes Claude Code. So, compact and clear can help you manage your conversation context and token usage, while exit simply ends the Claude Code session. Another important command is code review. This command can be used to review your code changes and identify potential bugs, security issues, logic problems, and other improvements. It reviews the relevant changes in your Git repository, typically comparing your current work with the appropriate base or target branch, depending on how you invoke the command and your repository context. There are many more commands available. If you want to see them all, you can use help to view the available commands and learn what each one does. You can also create your own custom slash commands by adding markdown files to the appropriate .cloud commands directory in your project. For example, suppose you frequently work on UI components, you can create a markdown file containing instruction for the tags. That file can then be used as a reusable slash command, allowing Claude to follow those instructions whenever you invoke the command. Now, let's talk about prompting. If you want Claude to perform a task effectively, you need to provide a clear and useful prompt so Claude understands what you want. One useful feature is using @, to reference files and other project resources. For example, if you want Claude to work on a specific file, you can reference that file with @. This gives Claude more precise context about the file you are talking about and can help avoid unnecessary exploration of unrelated files. Next, if you press the escape key twice, Claude Code can rewind the conversation and restore the state to an earlier point, allowing you to try a different approach. Now, let's talk about Claude Code's permission modes. Claude Code provides different permission modes that control how Claude can interact with your files and execute commands. In normal operations, Claude asks for permissions when action requires approval. Auto accept edits allows Claude to make file edits without asking for approval for each individual edit. Plan mode allows Claude to analyze the tasks and create an implementation plan before making changes. Plan mode can be particularly useful for complex tasks because you can first ask Claude to understand the code base, investigate the requirements, and create a plan before you allow implementation. You can switch between permission modes using Shift plus Tab. We have already discussed the Claude.md file. Similarly, it is useful to understand skills and hooks. Skills are reusable capabilities that can be defined in your project's .cloud skills directory. A skill can contain instructions and supporting files that Claude can use when performing a particular type of task. Depending on how the skill is configured, it can be invoked explicitly or used by Claude when relevant. Hooks are another powerful feature. They allow you to automatically run commands or actions at specific points in Claude Code's workflow. Hooks can be configured through Claude Code settings, including .cloud settings.json for project level configuration. For example, you can use hooks to run formatting, validation, or other automated checks at specific points in your workflow. Claude Code also supports MCP servers, which stands for Model Context Protocol. MCP servers extend Claude Code's capabilities by connecting it to external services and tools. For example, MCP can be used to connect Claude with services such as Google Drive, Google Calendar, Slack, databases, or other custom tools and services. The world is rapidly growing with AI tools, and Claude is one of the powerful tools available for software development and other tasks. If you want to use AI tools effectively, you need to understand their fundamental concepts and features, and that's exactly what this tutorial is about. Keep learning.